So for each verse, we break them down. We break one half of the verse down, and we break the other half of the verse down, and we knock it out because we always say that we got faith, and then when the troubles of the world hit us, then that faith is all gone and it's evaporated. So this chapter right here, it really explains what faith is, and then it gives examples of the faith or the patriarchs of the faith, like all the people that's previously in the Bible, like who they say the father of faith is. Abraham, right? But we know that it was more than Abraham that had faith, right? Because if it wasn't for, matter of fact, all of them, because at some point in time they had to have faith in something, right? So, right. All right, Hebrews 1. All right, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right? So we consider Hebrews 1:11 the definition of faith, right? That's what the definition is of faith. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, we're going to break one half of it down, which is now faith is the substance, right? Just as our physical eyesight is the sense that gives us evidence of the material world, right? Faith is the sense that gives us evidence of the invisible spiritual world, right? All right, now we're about to break it down a little more. Faith has its reasons, right? But faith goes beyond reasoning, right? We say that the Bible doesn't recommend a blind leap of faith, right? But the reasons can't be measured in a laboratory. They have to be understood spiritually, right? Because God said what? You got to worship Him in what? Spirit and truth. There you go. All right. Faith that stands beyond what we learn from our senses, right? And each person who wrote in the Bible is saying that it has its reasons, right? That we should have faith, but it goes beyond the reasoning. It's a test are not those of the senses, which yield uncertainty, right? We know that they want us to have faith in something that we can't see. That's hard to do, because if we can't touch it, feel it, embrace it, we'll be like, hold on, man, is this gonna really work? It's just like bowling. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna bowl this strike. Man, you know you need a strike to win the game, but yeah, you going up there, you say, you know what I mean, you pump yourself, yeah, I'm gonna bowl this strike, we're gonna get this strike. But then once that ball start going, you be like, yeah, I don't know. And then when you get the strike, boom. And you talk jump like, yeah, I knew it was gonna. But you never know. But that's the human side of us, right? The human side gonna always question everything, right? All right. We know that the physical eyesight produces what? A conviction or evidence of visible things, right? So we figured that the eyes is, in the medical field, we say the eyes is what? An organ, right? That, these organs is what sees everything. You fixate on something, and it goes through our rectum and all of that, right? And the rest of it in our brain, then our brain say, hey, it's a door, or this is that. But we wouldn't know what it is if we wasn't taught that, right? So if we wasn't taught that was a door, we just knew that was something that was there, right? So we know that the eyesight is an organ. So faith is just like an organ, right? So we're saying faith is an organ which enables people to see the invincible order. So we got to look at faith as an organ, right? So we're going to break down the other half of that, which is of things hoped for, of things not seen. So if you have the substance, right, before you, or if you can see it, there is no use for faith, right? Pastor always say it all the time. You can see it, well, that ain't faith. Faith is what faith is what? Something that what? You can't see, right? Faith is needed for what we can't see and can't touch, right? All right, faith does not contradict reason, though it may go beyond reason, like I keep saying, go beyond reasoning. One may objectively prove the Bible is what? The most unique book ever published and has impacted what? Society more than any other book. Right? That's what Christians believe, right? That this book is what I just read. But then if you ask a Jewish person, they say the Torah. If you ask, Muslim, it's what? The Quran, right? Now, I don't know what the Buddhas, Buddha and all of them, what they read, but, everybody, every religion has their book that they go to that say, hey, this is it, right? So we feel that this book does that for us, but only by faith can prove, only but faith can prove that the Bible is the Word of God, right? So it's something inside of us that we have to believe that the Bible is what it said it is, which is what? The Word of God, right?
Amen.
And Pastor is preaching on what? Proverbs, and he said Proverbs is what? It's wisdom. It's the wisdom book, right? So that means that if you want to know how to live life, what do you say? Go do what? Proverbs, right? So, but us as Christians believe that. But it's something spiritually that is allowing us to connect with God to believe that whatever that was written in that book is, if we take heed to it, then we're going to have a life that is what? Prosperous and successful. And we're going to have some bumps and bruises, but we know that He's going to be there with us, right?
Amen. Amen.
All right, therefore, this is a belief beyond reason, right? But not a contradiction to reason or against reason, right? All right, faith is a substance, the evidence, right? Faith is not a bare belief or intellectual understanding. It is a willingness to trust in, to rely on, and to cling to, right? We always say, hey, all in doubt, I'm going to cling to my what? Lord and Savior, right? So, and we still in the first verse, so, I'm just breaking it down. Just breaking it down more so you can get the understanding what this faith thing is. This is not so much a definition of faith as it is a declaration of what faith does. It is the substance of things that are hoped for, and the word substance there has been translated in the new versions the substantiating of the things that we hope for. And the word evidence, that word has been translated conviction of the things not seen. It's like, all right, there's evidence for the existence of God. And it causes me to believe in God, right? Everybody believe in Him. Though I have not seen God, the evidence of His existence creates that faith in our hearts, right? All right, as we pointed out, there are many things that we believe in that we don't or haven't seen. We believe in the wind. That's an example, right? Right, though we haven't seen it, we see the effects of the wind, right? Then we just have a hurricane that comes past here. You see them trees blowing and the leaves flying everywhere. Then you see them waves crashing. Now what was making them waves? That was the wind, right? We see the effects of the wind. We see the trees and all of that good stuff, right? The dust, we see all of that. We see the evidence of it, right? Just like magnetic force. We know that what? With two opposites, right? Two opposite poles. When they come together, boom. That's magnetic force. We can't see the force that attracting the two poles, but we know that what? That is magnetic force. So these are examples of things that God created, but you can't see it, right? So we're gonna go to verse 2, which is for by it the elders obtained good report. So that's self-explanatory, because once we read down more, it's gonna start talking about all the characters in the Bible that used faith to overcome some things, right? So we're gonna go to verse 3. All right. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Right. Now I just talked about that. Right. So this verse, faith gives understanding regarding the invisible world. So this is the magnetic thing. So I'm gonna see if this can go over your head. So we're gonna break down. By faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word. So you know what, Genesis 1:3 say what? This happened when God simply commanded what? Let there what? Be light. And in Psalms 33:6, as the psalmist explains what? By the word of the Lord, the heavens was made, right? And all the hosts of them by the breath of his mouth. For he spoke, and it was done, and he commanded, and it stood fast. So by spoken words, God created what? The heavens and the earth, right? By faith we understand what? We did not see this act of creation. We wasn't even born. Now God said that he knew us before our existence, right? Mm-hmm. But we didn't see this creation, right? We only know of it by what? Faith, right? We also know that this reason, anybody raise their hand or something? Oh, okay. All right, we also know this by reason because we know the world was created by an intelligent designer, right? And we all know who that designer was, the man above. Again, this is faith going beyond, but not in contradiction to reason. So this is going beyond reason. And you know, you had the scientists to try to rebuttal, saying whether with the Big Bang Theory and you know that we came from now we did come from the dust, but it wasn't what the scientists say that we came from. So even at time, you said what?
The scientists say we came from 8.
That right. See that? How we come from what 3, 4 toes to 5 toes, 5 fingers and all that good stuff. Right. All right. So. Yes, ma'am.
I have a point to make. There are several scientists there that do the Big Bang Theory and espouse it, but they still believe in God and they believe in the gospel. And it's one of the ways, and they can explain why they believe that the Big Bang Theory is related to God and the Bible. So, you know, I think science has a very important place in our lives, but I also believe the gospel does. And when we talk about the science of it just being, that's not true. We have science, but we also have the Word of God.
But who created the science?
God.
There you go. So,
right. So.
Right. Well, but I'm talking about the scientists that try to discredit who God is.
So there are, yes, but I'm talking about, like scientists that didn't believe in God and then did.
Right.
I'm talking about doctors that didn't believe in God, that they believed in science, now they still believe in God. So I think this is all of God's way of bringing us together and bringing us along. Because without science, we wouldn't have technology, we wouldn't have computers, we wouldn't have laptops.
But God blessed us. Then he blessed us with the knowledge, right? Yeah. So each generation, and as evolution passed, God blesses us even more. So, and that's let you know that God is in all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my point.
There you go. All right. All right. So even at times when God expects a faith that contradicts reason, closer examination reveals he does not. For example, right? It may seem contrary to reason for God to expect Abraham to believe that Sarah's dead womb, right, could bring forth a child. Well, she was like, what, 90? Something like that? You think about this day and age. That somebody said that they were 90. Somebody came here 90 years old talking about they were pregnant. What would y'all be like? You crazy out your mind. You'll think that she was from psych ward, right? Be honest. We'd be like, nah. And I'm quite sure that she thought the same thing. You know, that when the man of God said, hey, you gonna be pregnant, this is that. She chuckles. Right. Like, he's funny. But it happened. But think about this. You think about now that you have people who don't believe in the Bible, like, nah, that couldn't happen. Just like they say the flood couldn't happen and all of this. But it's only by faith that we believe that happened, right? And that's what we study. It's only by the connection of our spirit and God's spirit connecting together that we believe that Sarah at 90 years old had a child. She done broke all types of bones in her body. But because 90 years old, you frail. Osteoporosis. You got all these diseases. But I don't know if that happened back then, but I'm just saying.
You didn't say it back then.
You said what?
No, you didn't say it back then.
What, 90 years old?
Oh, you said like she was ill and frail.
No. That wasn't true. I was just joking.
Well, you as a medical professional, you can appreciate it.
Right.
You know how the body deteriorates over it.
The older it gets. Look, I used to do P's, right? Well, they done snatched me back to geriatrics now. There's more money. But I'm like, man, when I was with P's, I felt young. Now with these geriatrics, I'm like, man. We had people with Alzheimer's, dementia, some of them can't walk, some of them flying in them chairs going like 30 miles an hour. I was in a home the other day, and I'm sitting there charting. I just seen this, you can hear like a motorcycle roar, woof, and you're like, man, where's it coming from? So I just see this lady. She must have been going no more than 20 miles an hour on this thing. She knew what she was doing. And I still don't see her. So the long way was hard. So all of a sudden, somebody told me to look out of the corner of my right eye. And I looked. That joker, she was flying. And then she ain't slow down going around the curve. I'm new. So one of the staff members was like, don't mind her. She always do. I said, wait, she don't see nobody coming? Now what if somebody with a walker or something was coming? No, she would have dodged them, but I'm just saying that.
You don't have to get insurance for that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I'm the.
I don't mean to burst.
No, go ahead.
But there was a 78-year-old lady that gave birth last week.
See, you see what I'm saying? Man. See, that right there. See, now do you believe that?
If it happened, it happened. I
Right.
understand.
You can't really think. See, she had faith, right? God touched her. God had told her you had some twins at 78. So, I'm just saying. She was 74. Right. See, that's what God doing. I'm telling you, let's imagine this, right? She having a baby at 74. Just letting you know. See, God is showing people who He is. We in a generation that people are getting away from God. So God is trying to reveal Himself in different manners. So He had to do the impossible of the impossibles, right? Right. You think about us black people, right? It seemed like for a period of time, yeah, you have police shootings and all of that, right? You have all that. But it's only when certain people got in office start ramping up, right? So it's like we kind of got away from the praying and you know, the fashion and stuff that, you know, the 60s and they did in that time. They kept them close. But it seemed like each year that went on, we kind of like got away from that. So, you know, that I'm telling you, the more I get older, the more I'm starting to fear my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the TVs. I'm in the streets. I'm in the medical profession. It's still systemic racism in that. It's going. I was just in a room today, old white man, and I'm still in training. And it was a Caucasian nurse. I want to, say my words right. It was a Caucasian nurse, right, that was training me. So we goes in there. He wouldn't let me take his vitals. No, that's okay. So I backed off. You know, I ain't lose my life for nobody. That's what feeds my family. So, but he made a comment. You know, a black woman would probably curse them out. Or, you know, somebody in their right frame of mind. So I had to digest. I said, okay, let me back off. So, because he was like, who is this? Who is this man right here? And that's when she was like, well, this is so and so. I'm training. This is Chris. I'm training. Then that's when he was like, what, to look stupid. Right. Wow. So I knew he didn't want to say the N word. You see what I'm saying? I said, okay, now I know who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with an ignorant white man. We walked in, and guess who was on TV? Trump. Right. Fox News. It's like every room we went in, well, it was in Williamsburg. So Fox News, and it was Trump. They all are Trump supporters. But I said, you know what? I said, look, I tell you what, you can handle this one. You know what I mean? I don't even want no parts of it. But, all right.
Ignorance is bliss for some of these people.
Well, but you know, the older, you know what? I don't even expect the older people to change. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be who they are. You know, all I can do is what? Continue to show love. That's it. That's all I can do. So let's get back to this faith thing, because I'm going to need a lot of it tomorrow. I tell you that. All right, so we're talking about what served wounds, right? But it's not unreasonable to believe that the God who created life and the womb could do this, right? You just gave an example, the 74-year-old, right?
Yeah, I hope I never have to have this.
Right, and he would do it according to what his promise, right? That he promised Sarah, right? All right. The other part of the verse number 3, by faith we understand that what? This text does not say that God created the world with or by faith, right? They don't say that. Since God sees and knows all things, faith in a human sense does not apply to him, right? Since we understand faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, what is known is God sees everything, right? And does not hope for what? Anything. So, all right. So that the things which are seen were not made of things which are visible, right? So that's the other part of verse 3. So let's get some examples of this stuff, right? All right, most scientists, right? Now we're on the scientists now, right? Most scientists at the time the book of Hebrews was written believed the universe was created out of existent matter, right? Not out of nothing. They believed the world was made out of things which are visible, right? But the Bible corrects this misunderstanding, clearly saying that the world was not made of things which are visible. Interesting statement, especially from a scientist standpoint. But think about it. All right, the Bible said that God said, let there be light, right? God said, let the waters above the firmament be divided, right? From the waters beneath the firmament. All right, God said that the earth bring forth what? Herb. yielding seed after its kind, right? God said so. We believe that God spoke the same world into existence so that the things which we do see were made out of things which do not appear. Now, an example of that, an example really of faith or evidence of faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So God took unseen things and made the material, seen universe in which we live, the world. Not looking at a little more, now looking at it a little more closely, right? God made the world out of things that do not appear. So what are the things that he made the world of? We know that the universe, the worlds are made up of atoms, right? Which are what? Invisible. Can we see atoms? No, right? We know they exist, but yet they are invisible. So that all of the material things that we see are made up of things that cannot be seen. Atoms, protons, electrons. So by faith we believe that the worlds were formed by the word of God, so that the things that we do see today, right? The things that appear are made out of things what? Which we cannot. There you go, and do not appear. Man, I tell you what. Now, if you don't believe that, then, now I hope they ain't go over a lot of people's heads, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when I was writing this stuff, man, I said, well, so I had to tap in, you know what I mean? I got to draw it from it. All right, verse 4. All right. By faith, Abel, right, offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, right? By which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by he being dead yet speaking, right? So, you know, Hebrews 4 is talking about Abel's faith, right? By faith, Abel offered to God a more excellent sacrifice. But how we know that, right? We know it because what God accepted what? His sacrifice, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't know that it was by faith or not, do we? No, we just know that when he, because it didn't give parameters of what a sacrifice meant back then, right? Right. So all we know is that, you know, he accepted Abel's sacrifice. All right, the difference between the sacrifice of Cain and the sacrifice of Abel, which is in Genesis 4, 3, and 5, was not between animal and vegetable. The difference was that Abel's sacrifice was made by faith. Right. So Abel's sacrifice was preferred to his brothers for no other reason than it was sanctified by what? Faith, right? For surely the fat of brute animals did not smell so sweetly that it could, by its odor, pacify God. I mean, it could have, right? So God testifying of his gifts, it is likely that God testified of his pleasure with Abel's what? Sacrifice, right? So I guess he was searching what was in here, right? So Abel's sacrifice by consuming it with fire from heaven, as happened at the dedication of tabernacles. You know, I put in a little bit of that Leviticus 9:24, the temple, which is in 2nd Chronicles 7:1, and upon the offerings made by David, 1st Chronicles 21:26, and Elijah, 1 Kings 18:38. Right. Through it he being dead still speaks, right? So we know that his brother killed him, right? Cain killed Abel because of the jealousy, right? All right. Hold on. How can, you know, the man that created us, you know, accept yours and not accept mine? Ooh, man, I tell you, boy, jealousy is a, oof, good Lord. That thing could be vicious, can't it? Who watched the ID channel? Man, I be watching that joke all the time. Boy, y'all women, boy, be vicious, man. Boy. And half of the time be about money. You know what I mean? I give you $500 to kill somebody. Them jokers be doing it. I'd be like, man, you stupid. If you gonna get $500,000 in life insurance, if you want me to sacrifice my life just to kill somebody, I want half of that. Matter of fact, give me 400,000. You take 100,000. I'm the one going. I'm going to jail now, but. Lord forgive me, because I don't think that way. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. You say, yeah, but it'd be fascinating. Well, I tell you. But, yes.
When it speaks in the Bible of sacrifices, you mention that, and burning of the animals, the fat, and that pleases God.
Right.
He
That was
can smell. That's just like, so he can smell. This is what it's like.
Well, that was something that God had set forth for the Israelites during the time that He was forming. You know, He chose that group of people to be His chosen. Right. So you know what I mean. We all know when everybody went through Leviticus and all that, know that He was creating the laws and all of that. That's what you need to have a sacrifice for this and that. You know, burnt offerings, peace offerings, and all that good stuff. You know, He was doing that to set His people apart from the world, right? But you know, Cain and Abel want none of that set up yet. You know, they were still trying to populate the world, right? So, you know, it don't say that it was by faith, but it was suggested by faith that, you know, God accepted, you know, Abel's sacrifice, and it was probably from an envious heart from Cain that he didn't accept it. And it probably wasn't because one was animal and one was fruit of the land or whatever he was sacrificing. It was just a point of probably one had love in his heart and one had hatred in his heart. And that's evidence because what? He killed his brother, right? Right. So, and that's I don't know. If I'd have known this when I was like 2, 3, I've been looking at my sister sideways. All them jokes. And my little brother. I'd be like, man, which one of y'all gonna turn? You know, but you know, we're a loving family. The Scotts is a loving family. We all love it. But I'm the only one to go to church. Ain't that something? You know, I tell you, because Pastor always talk about this. When I think God always had my hand on it, right? But I was in the streets doing my own thing. And my mom knew that. My dad knew that. My whole family knew that. So when it was once I decided that, hey, I said, man, he keep calling me, so he starts closing all these doors. So I had to, I said, Lord, I'm ready now. You already shut all the doors. I can't do nothing now. So once I gave my life to him, and I started coming here, because I was going to Macbeth first, and then they stopped. It was a blessing because once they stopped doing Bible study, I said, well, I need to learn this. I need to learn the word. So I started going to the Rock Church. So that's what the Rock Church with Jim Jimenez and all them. So I was going there, and then he ended up dying. But I always said I was going to visit his church, because you know my mom stayed in Campus East. So I remember when it was being built. So I saw him visit it one day. So I visited in 2000. I ended up joining in 2006, but I was coming on a regular in 2005. So, wow. Make a long story short. You know, first couple of years, you know, I'm going to church. You know, my mom was still looking at me sideways, like I'm still the dirt of the street. I'm like, nah, I changed, Ma, I changed. No, but I don't know what flipped in her, because my mom knows some people in here. You know, my mom drove HRT for a lot of years. Right, so, and you might heard of my mom, Celestine Scott. Right, so, I always thought my mom was mean. But, you know, some of the friends be like, why don't you go to your son's church? I ain't going to that devil's church. Right, she used to call me a devil. And I'm like, what? In front of my mama done, in front of my face. Then all of a sudden one day, I goes over there and she talking to somebody. Yeah, my son is a deacon. I said, I don't know what touched her heart, but sometimes, you know, God say what He prepared what a table amongst your enemies, right? So I ain't gonna say my mom was my enemy, but she didn't see what other people see. She was still seeing the old me, but it took the touch of God to see. She knew me. Now she proud, you know, my son a deacon. And then my dad said I'm a doctor, so you know what I mean, get on my nerves. But my dad said, Dr. Scott, hey man, hey, holler at me. You know, I got some lab results. We got to go over it. That's what my dad do. When he get his lab results, he called me, and I just break everything down to him. So, but my mom refused to call me doctor. I said, and my dad said, you better put respect on his name. Put some respect on it. So let's get back to it. All right. Oh man. All right. Right off with his example of Abel, the writer reminds us that faith is not necessarily rewarded on earth, but God Himself testifies to the righteousness of the faithful. Right. Abel's blood still speaks to us. Right, reminding us of the value of eternity. Right. All right. So let's go to Hebrews 11:5. All right. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, right? And was not found because God has translated him. Before his translation, he had his testimony that he pleased God. All right. Then I'm gonna tie in Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him, right? For he that cometh to God must what? Believe that what? He is, right? And that what? He is a what? Rewarder of them that what? Boy, everybody know that one, don't they? Boy, I tell you. All right. So, what a great testimony. Here's a man that declares he pleased God, right? That is the very purpose of our existence, right? We was made to what? Please who? God. Not ourselves or others, but to please who? God. There you go. To bring pleasure to God. In the 4th chapter of the book of Revelation, where John sees the cherubim about the throne of God, worshiping the Lord, declaring the holiness and eternal character of God. 24 elders fall on their faces, right? Whoever that read the book of Revelations or was in pastor class when he went through Revelations, right? Talked about the 24 elders, right? Fall on their faces before the throne and take their crowns and cast them, right, on the glassy sea. And they say, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor. For you have created what? All things, and for your pleasure they are and were created. Which is who? Us, right? Right. That's how we supposed to be. But I think we don't do that. We probably praise the football team, Eagles, Cowboys, Skins, them Giants, or soap operas. You said what? Patriots. But we don't give that much energy to who? Our Lord and our Savior, right? I think last Sunday, then Minister Williams had to, re-energize everybody about, cheering or giving our praise and worship to God. So, yeah. Basic facts of our existence. You were created for God's pleasure. That's what we were created for. A person who lives for their own pleasure is living out of sync with God. He said, you is out of His will, you're against Him. That's what it say, right? Right. So it is interesting how that a person living for their own pleasure is constantly pursuing pleasure, constantly trying to find something new, something different, some new sensation. My mom used to say that you're just like your daddy. And I'm like, hold on. I used to laugh about it. my dad had kids outside my mama, right? So I'm like, man. I said, she's saying that in a bad way. And I know she was because, my dad was a womanizer. But it took a young lady to tell me, you're a womanizer. I said, no, I'm not. I said, I give you everything that you need. So, my thing is, whatever you want, I'm going to give it to you. Not knowing that I had to learn that if I wasn't interested in that woman, long term, I shouldn't have never got involved with her from the get-go. Me, I just wanted one thing from her. So from that made me a womanizer, right? So my mom used to be like, boy, you're a womanizer. I said, no, I'm not. I said, I just get women what they want. But then I had to think about it. But then my dad, he sanctified people the whole. I said, oh, now I thought, oh yeah, I'm just like my dad, right? Because I might have walked his shoes for a while, right? But then there's a way, you get that bow and arrow, and then you come back in, and then now I'm on that straight and narrow path. So I said, now when you call me that, and I tell her now, I said, when you say I'm just, she don't say that no more, because I'm a proud Deacon son. So, but when she used to say that, I'd be like, I would take that, right? Because it took for some learning and some hardships for me to get to where I'm at now. So I said, you know what? I said, look at that in there. I said, she had to look at it. And she come back with something else. No. Your thing was, I'm just like your dad. I said, that's fine, I'll take it. I said, which one you talking about? So, you talking about the holy one or the one on earth?
Sunday, did you see Black Girl Rock? And I think they was giving Angela Baskett Award, and what's her name? That King girl, when she said black means cheap. Did you see that Sunday?
Right, but you know she say that because
Yeah.
Charlemagne the God, he go around saying that black men don't cheat.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I was wondering why she said that on TV.
Right, cause he really said black men don't cheat. Right.
I was
He's trying to create a. You know how they say that if you keep saying something long enough, right, you're gonna believe it.
Right.
So you think if I'm cheating, if I keep saying now I don't cheat. Hopefully I start following what my words say, right? Right.
Well, you kind of go from that other person.
Right. So when I say, you know what, I'm gonna tell you.
But I did hear it.
Right. When I was a deacon, right? When I first became a deacon, yeah, I had a little bit of heathen still in me, right? Right. And I'm being honest, and I had to make up my mind. I said, you know what? This walk that I'm on, I can't keep living the way I'm living. So, my loving wife ain't here today, but I always pick with her. Because I always say, if it wasn't for me being a deacon, I wouldn't be married right now. And that's the truth. But it's because of me being a deacon, I had to grow up fast, spiritually, and with my walk. And then I had to be an example because I had to, we had to learn what this deacon thing is. That's a high standard. Matter of fact, it's just like a pastor. It's only certain words, tweaks. That's it. We just as important as a pastor is. The only thing is, we can drink a little bit. we can sip a little something. Right, but I'm just saying. But, that's a little something. But, Paul said pastors can't, right? That's what it says. So, but, I had to honor. If I wanted to be a deacon, I had to honor that. So I had to walk in it. Right. That doesn't mean that, I still have my follies. I mean, we all fall short. Right. So we all fall short. So don't look at me and saying, no. I tell my wife, don't put me up here. Please don't put me up here, because I'm just as, I need salvation just like you. I need grace and mercy just like you. But I say, as long as, the word of God is in me, I'm going to try my darndest. I was gonna say the other word, but we in church. But I'm trying my darndest to follow his will. You know what I mean?
Amen.
That's every day. Every day I say, keep me from me. Keep me from me, cause I know me and my wife. Me and my wife have honest conversation. I said, you want the truth? You sure you can handle it? And then she'd be like, hey, that's. She asked me one time. She was like, if you were stuck in the whole house, would you cheat? And I looked at her. I said, hold on, where'd that come from? She said, I just want to know. I said, you sure you want to know that? I said, look. I said, I don't know. I said, you don't know. You don't know. I said, but what I can promise you is I'm not going to put myself in that predicament. Right? If I know that woman's vagina, excuse me, is my weakness, why would I gravitate in that direction? Knowing that it's going to pull me in. Right. You got to be real. You got to be real. You got to be real. And I hope they don't post this, you know what I mean? I'm just being real.
I think this is going on YouTube tomorrow.
I'm just being real. I'm going to tell you. For us Christians, I'm going to put it out there. For us Christians, we have to start walking our truth. We have to start being real with one another. You can't be too shades. God don't like what lukewarm does. You're going to be hot or cold. Right, but walk your truth. If you know you got weakness, own it. Because the next person who don't, they want to, what God you said? No, I don't want that one. Because you flip-flop. You see what I'm saying? No, walk your truth. Walk your truth. You know, people, a lot of people, you know, they relate because they be like, man, you, I said, look, I ain't got nothing to hide. You know, it's an open book. If you want to know something, I'll tell you. I would tell you. You know, every deacon that's here, you know, we all know how hard it is to be a deacon in this church. And we know that every time we up there, everybody looking at us. And they ain't looking for the good stuff. They looking for us to fall. But guess what?
Not everybody.
No. But you can't worry about that, right? You gotta walk your walk. If you fall, okay, get back up. Now we all know there's a couple of deacons that did fall, right? But they got back up. And they on their way back to what? Redemption. But that's between what? Him and God. Right. And before I came a deacon, there were some deacons that failed.
Don't everybody fall?
Right. But I'm just we have to start solidifying this thing. If we say we're a Christian, you know, being Christ, you know, being a Christian is what? Definition of what? Being Christ. Right. So we have to walk in a way that would draw people in. That's what we're supposed to do. Draw people in. And don't let, you know, our truth be our fault. I mean, we got to stop that because it's an attack on us. Right. It's even our own kind. It's been like, no, I don't want no parts of that. Because y'all contradictive, y'all hateful, y'all judgmental. It's all of that. No, we're not here to be judgmental. Gays, bis, you know. My thing is, I don't care what you are. I don't care. Thief, lie. Come. Let me choose if I want to deal with you or not. Right. Well, if I'm going to deal with you, I'm not going to deal with you for what you do. The sin part. I'm going to deal with you because of my love for you.
That's house is for the sinner as well.
Right. So, but, you know, I'm going to tell you, woman in this church, I'm telling you, I getting a bad rap. I'm telling you. I mean, y'all getting a bad rap. I'm telling you. Right, because there are people in this church that's saying that they don't feel the love when they come in these doors. And they say it's not coming from the men. It's coming from the women. Right.
Well, women's always.
And I say that is so true. Being here for over
See, testimony right
a
here.
little over a year.
Right.
And one Sunday, I was coming from the bathroom with my granddaughter. I spoke to this person, and so they kind of turned. I said, okay, maybe she didn't hear me.
Right.
So then, one Bible study night, we got up, everybody's leaving, I'm greeting people. And so I said, how you doing? They say, oh my God.
I'm not saying this just to be saying it, right?
I think it might be the
I'm-
same lady that I keep running into.
But this had been reported.
When the pastor says love grows here, so it's not the people on the outside, it's the people in, like, you don't want new people coming in.
Now, why do you think they keep talking about this? In the pulpit.
Because it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's true.
We losing members because of attitude.
People rude.
Look, well, I tell you what, ask every woman in here, right? When they get greeted by the men, do they feel wanted? Like, feel, not in a,
Well, yeah.
but feel
Welcome.
welcome.
Yeah.
I'm a new, well, I don't work in a couple of months, I do feel welcome.
Right. Now reverse it. Do the women make you feel welcome?
The few that I've met here before, and
Some.
I haven't encountered a lot.
Well, I'm saying not at the door, but when you come on the inside. The love supposed to be all over this joke, right? And every seat in here, love supposed to be right.
I get it here, you know, and yeah, for the most part, I haven't really experienced.
You know, I make it a
part
point.
because I'm new.
Right. I make it a point that I try to see everybody in here. I give people hugs. I give people kisses that I don't even know. And my wife know that, you know, she don't care. Cause she knows. That's what, look, if I say love, if love is in my heart, man, we won't correlate love with a kiss, you know what I mean? Not from a stranger, but I'm just saying, not lip to lip.
Yeah.
But you know, if you don't want to look, right. But you say what? But I'm just some greets with a kiss on the cheek, some greet with a hug. It all depends.
I don't have one, but when I get one, don't care. That's true. You have to have boundaries.
Right. And you know what? And you're right. And you're right.
What she say?
Doing you.
Because a lot of women can take kindness the wrong way, and a lot of men can take kindness the wrong way.
That's
But
true.
you gotta have
That's
boundaries.
That's true.
But I mean, church, I'm getting better.
No. But I mean, no. You know, your truth is your. I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. We're not gonna invalidate that. That's how you feel. Right. You said what?
I said they get upset when you hug them too. When you come in the morning.
Well, then Pastor he presented that in the pulpit one time, right?
Yeah.
Right. What did he say?
Don't nobody want your man, but
Let me get through this.
I've got minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
I've been here since a year ago May, and overall, it's so great to be greeted by people I know,
Right.
people I recognize, and the smiles I get every Sunday, and the hugs, girl, man, woman, it's just, but I understand how you feel because that's how my mother feels. I'm a little different, so thank you everyone for
Right.
making me feel as welcome.
I tell the deacons, look, try to pick out 5 people that you don't know and hug them. Let's hug them. Be like, hey, thank you for coming. Especially the new ones. If you at them lights, you know the deacons that be at the lights. If a new person come, if you close to them, greet them, hug them. Be like, hey, thank you for coming. This and that. And Minister Williams, he did it, right? I said, hey, you doing it, right? Right, because I'm telling you, it's an issue. It is a serious issue. Right, you
That's a
might not.
personal problem, I'm sorry, if you got that type of whatever inside of your heart that you don't, you can't give
But-
a person a hug or
but Jesus
whatever,
still
that-
working on it.
Those are some things inside of you that you have to do.
Yeah, Jesus still working.
As long as nobody goes kiss you in the mouth, I mean.
Right. I get kisses on the cheek. It don't bother me. It don't bother my wife. It don't bother me. I'm like, hey, because I know it's love.
Exactly.
Hey, it's love. So,
Sometimes people have been through things, so they kind of, but you're right, God has to work everything.
right. You just don't know what a hug will do for a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know what they've been through at home. I'm telling you,
They might not even
they
get
might have
that
been
at
thinking
home.
about suicide. We had one person tell me, I had somebody, it was me and another, I don't know who it was, but told us, and said, look, thank you, because I needed that because I was about to do something crazy. So I said, well, no, we don't want that. We want to see you on the news. So, and you know, especially, that's why I said earlier about me feeling, I'm starting to get more emotional the older I get because of my black people. Because we creating problems. We already got a system that is trying to keep us down, right? But then there is an inner system within ourselves that we're fighting amongst one another, and I'm like, no, we can't keep doing this because we need to be rock solid, you know. And I tell God all the time, please, you know, I hate to be selfish in my prayer, but I want to pray for my black people. I said, look, you know, everybody needs Jesus. I understand that. I said, but look, we need you a little more. Because I see, you know, as we should be getting more closer together. Look at the stuff that's going on. But we don't do it. So we don't do it. We don't do it. So it's 7:59, ladies and gents. I'm not gonna keep going forward. But I'm gonna stop right there. As we depart, there you go, as we depart, don't forget, show love to one another. Show love. I don't care who it is. You go to the store, at the store clerk, show some love.